Auspicious greetings. My name is Star, and I was a participant in the 2026 short-term monastic retreat held at Shilai Temple. I came to Buddhism late in life, and I was interested in immersing myself in a very intensive experience. This required patience, humility, and adaptability. To mangle the quote from Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, "Toto, we were not in Kansas anymore." The 7-day retreat was not a kumbaya meditative experience. It consisted of long days of learning, practicing, cultivating, and striving to meet high expectations. The focus was on community and not on the selfish individual that I normally am. We were to practice noble silence in speech and in action. For example, I was not to scrape my chopstick across the plate, as it made for too much noise in a lunchroom full of over 100 preceptees. I would have disturbed their focus by not maintaining my own. I had a responsibility to support an environment conducive to solemn contemplation and cultivation. I was appreciative of the excellent translation services and grateful for the English version of the PowerPoint slides. This made it easier to pay attention and absorb the teachings. Learning Buddhism in an entirely different language, culture, customs, and traditions is a challenging but rewarding endeavor. I came home with a renewed commitment to my practice, which had become a little lax. I resolved to resume my mindful eating free of distractions, to limit my usage of digital devices, and my exposure to the negative 24-hour news cycle. Many thanks to the temples, our Shifeng venerables, and all the other participating venerables, and the army of volunteers that it took to make this retreat happen. We appreciate you, and I hope to honor you with improved skills in thinking good thoughts, speaking good words, and doing good deeds. Omi Tofo.
那简单的跟大家讲一下自己的分享。那我们接下来我们请人挑那个来分享。
Hello everyone. I'd like to share a little bit of what it felt in terms of what was there for those of you who were not there. So we had, in my understanding, maybe about 120 people. In our group, we had a very young girl, maybe about 10 years old, 12 years old. And I heard one participant at the end share that she was 70. So we had a wide range of age. In terms of men, without counting, I would say roughly we had about 30 men. In terms of the precepts, females, we took 6 precepts, and men took 10 precepts. And for us who were female, we were lined up after the little monks. So we had the male monastics who were taking their short term, and then the little monks, so they took their precepts, and then the females, because we had 6 precepts. And just to give you a little bit of what it was in terms of the hierarchy and the demographic of the group. As for my experience, this was my second time. I had first participated back in 2013 when I first joined Sifan Temple, Chan. Back then, I had just been here a member for about maybe 2 months. So my experience was very different in that sense that I really didn't know much of anything. And this time, I knew more in my practice, especially now as a Buddhist chaplain, but I learned so much. We talked about sutras, we talked a lot about precepts, we talked about, by talked about I mean the classes, the topics. We learned about humanistic Buddhism, we learned a lot about Venerable Master Hsing-Yun's work and his legacy. And overall, everybody, from all the volunteers to the disciplinary master to all the monastics, they were so compassionate with us as participants, meaning that it was hot weather, so our chores were done indoors or in the shade. You saw us cleaning the Buddhas or the rails. So great compassion by the program organizers. When we did our walking meditation, We did it either in the shade or in the main shrine because it was so hot. So they really tried to put the AC as much as possible, to be patient with us as lay people who dropped our chopsticks, who made sound with our chairs, who, etc. All the things that we as lay people take for granted, that we really had to abide by in the harmony of this community, whether it is not taking a shower after 5 p.m., waking up when you hear the wooden board. So really to abide by all the rules and regulations, guidelines, to help us as much as possible to be in harmony. So we are a large harmony as a retreat, and we're also a single harmony in our group of 10 to 12 people. My group had 10 people, and we were in the English group. And I'm really, really grateful for the experience and all the reflection that I was able to gain from this. So thank you. Thank you.
接下来就是伊利安娜啊，她来分享。
Omitofu, everyone. I am so glad that I got the opportunity to join the monastic retreat because I was debating whether to join or not. But I'm so glad that I went because at least if nobody has done it, at least do it once because it's a very rewarding experience. Very humbling, getting to know the monastic life. But it was a beautiful experience overall. And even though we were encouraged to practice noble silence, I know Venerable were very patient with us because we were so excited to be surrounded by like-minded people in the community. But overall, the experience was beautiful. I really enjoyed all the Dharma lectures that we had, from cultivating the Bodhi mind to staying on the Bodhisattva path. We learned about eminent masters and even doing chores, even kitchen duties, right? And two questions, my two takeaway questions that I got from the retreat was, what am I offering the Buddha, and what seats in my hand? So with those two questions, that is more than enough for me to really stay on the cultivating path, to really practice and offer everyone, not just to myself, but offer everyone the best version that I can of myself. So those two questions are very meaningful for me. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Nan, and a lot like Star, I kind of got a late start in Buddhism, and it's something I've manifested and thought about for many, many years, been exposed to for many, many years, and by the causes and consequences of my life, I was grateful that I could join this community about 3 years ago, and attending the retreat was definitely life-changing for me. As Star said, it wasn't a relaxing retreat. It was very challenging mentally and physically, but it was such a big awakening for me about Buddhism, and such a wonderful, wonderful confirmation that I am on the right path. The chanting was something that I had never been exposed to in person. I've watched videos, I've listened to things, but I found that to be extremely, I'm going to get dusty-eyed here, extremely emotional for me. It was a very spiritual awakening to be in such a group of like-minded people and on my knees and chanting and feeling the feelings and emotions and the powerful presence of being there. And a reflective moment of my life, where I've been and where I'm at now. And I find it very comforting now. That's something that I have adapted into my daily life is I'm out on the internet looking at all kinds of chantings and I'm on Spotify, whatever I can do. And in my corporate world, I work remote and I have it, my little speaker at the other end of my home. And when I'm on challenging corporate calls, I have that, and it's the heart suture a lot of the times to keep me grounded and centered, and that's one adaptation I've made into my life through my work life that I found extremely helpful and very comforting to keep me centered. The mindfulness part really, I really dug deep on that because we're all used to hearing about exercising. We're going to exercise our biceps, we're going to ride bikes, we're going to lift weights. But my takeaway is, our brain is a muscle. It's something that needs to be exercised. And I could go on and on and on about how we can all do that. But for me, that is another big takeaway is how can I stretch and exercise my brain daily? So I have found through chanting, I've changed my eating. I've adapted the monastic meals once a day. Sunday morning, I went to Ranch 99. I've been there many times, but my cart was full. I even have the rice bowls now, and it's very reflective for me in meditative eating actually now. So that is something that I really, really enjoy. Of course, to be around so many like-minded people all around North America and to feel so accepted for who I am, right? And our community here, I'm so grateful to be a part of this community and feeling so accepted. To me, it's not just about what we talk about, but how we practice it. And every person I've ever met here, all the support I get from the Venerables, I'm proud to share and be a part of the community and helping share the love and kindness that we have and all the support that we have here in our community. And it just helps me to be a better person, and I hope I can be a better person and a better example. Not only for my community, but again, in the corporate world. That's kind of a silent little goal I have is mindful corporate work, how I can be more mindful in the interactions I have with, every day, people I talk to every day within my corporate world or if it's customers I'm serving. I want to also, I could stand up here forever and talk, and I know everybody's ready to go, so I'm going to wrap it up, but I do want to say thank you for the wonderful, all the volunteers that I know that made it possible. All of the hard work, the coordination, from the chanting to the classes, to the food, to having beautiful combinations, to you giving me forks the first 3 days because I couldn't use chopsticks for everything. Now I do. I use chopsticks. So that was another big thing for me. Once again, thank you for accepting me and letting me be a part of such a wonderful community.